cozy Saturday morning with the crispness of the pristine air smothered with tranquility and with a beautiful ambience right here, I take this opportunity to welcome one and all for this one-day seminar put up by the management, Kerala Samajam, Dombivli. We have amongst us the versatile guest speaker, Mr. S.N. Ananthasubramaniam. Sir, I welcome you to our modern fraternity with warmth and reverence. At the onset, the teaching and the non-teaching staff wish to owe our gratitude to the management for having thought of such a wonderful movement just meant for us. Apart from the regular conceptual teaching and interaction with the intellectual genius would definitely enhance us to explore the source of credibility, thereby providing us with an overview of essential competencies, skills, and social intelligence necessary for navigating the leadership ladder further in today's global world. I thank the management for their initiation in motivating the staff. Thank you, sir. Well, thanks. Our distinguished guest, Mr. Ananthasubramaniam, is an orator with impeccable skills with an embellished and enriched knowledge. I request our President, Sri Rajendran Sir, to do the honors and present the bouquet. Our Degree College Vice Principal, Dr. Sunil Sharma, will greet him with a bouquet. Our General Secretary, Mr. Vishwanathan, will be honored by Vice Principal, Junior College, Kshatriya Sir. He is versatile, dynamic, energetic, enthusiastic, a selfless rational with a super fast mind. Well, these appraisals suit our Educational Secretary, Mr. O. Pradeep Nair. I request Mr. Iyer from Self-Financing to felicitate him. Our Degree College Proctor, Professor Bambadekar, to come forward and present a bouquet to our GC committee member, Mr. Raghu. Request Mr. Bindesh to greet our special invitees. Bindesh, please come forward and present a bouquet to Vasudevan Sir. We still immerse ourselves in boundless, transcendent love for our culture and tradition. To achieve this aesthetic effect with a spiritual perspective and keeping this conformity and ritual ongoing, I request the dignitaries to illuminate this beautiful lamp. Mr. Naidu. You played a melodious song for us. Well, the light in the lamp lit by the dignitaries would be worshipped as the Lord Himself. Thank you, Mr. Naidu. Each day is a new beginning, and each day gives us new experiences in life. So, are we here today to witness this event with great enthusiasm and spirits. I would now request our President, Shri Rajendran Sir, to formally welcome our Chief Guest and speak on this occasion.
Today's Chief Guest, Shri Subramanian, General Secretary of Kerala Samajam, Shri T. Vishwanathan, Union Secretary Shri Padri, Treasurer Mr. Unni, our Governing Council Member Shri Raghu, the Vice Principal of Model College, Dr. Sunil Sharma, Vice Principal, Union College Secretary, coordinators of all self-finance courses, teaching staff and non-teaching staff. On behalf of Kerala Samajam, I extend my heartiest welcome to our Chief Guest and today's speaker, Subramanian. He is there to give you a very valuable speech, which will take you to some other world, but the learning process never ends. And I don't want to give more lectures. There are people to give lectures here. My humble request is there. The trustees of Kerala Samajam, we the members will teach. Somebody will come back again. But as far as our main motto is to give education, and we want to serve in this about the citizens. You are the main people, permanent to grow it. When this program was planned, I had a doubt and asked my energetic education secretary, is necessary to give motivation or to be motivated. He is mine. So in his mind, of course there was something. With folded hand I am telling you, my request to you, there may be difference of opinion. Unless we are united, anything can be solved. Problems can be created, can be solved with love. Don't take it very serious. We got a reputation. Our old people has given this name, our institution as model schools and modern college. I think we should be modern. We should be modern. We should be examples. We should be model to others. When we started our junior college here in this above, there was very few colleges. Now, in this small town, there are a number of colleges, dozens of colleges. And plus, our quality of education improves. And moreover, not only the quality of education, the concept of a parent, discipline. If there is no discipline, nothing. So my humble request that each to the teachers, you are the role models. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We have our General Secretary, Mr. Vishwanathan here. May I request you to please come over and express your views about this summit.
Thank you, Madam Srinivasan. Respected Chief Guest and eminent academician, Mr. Subramanian. Respected teachers, my colleague Honorable President of Kerala Samajam and other colleagues of Governing Council. Today, we are here to attend a one-day seminar on ushering in creative changes at workplace through proactive management practices. So, whatever the name is given to the workshop, what I understand is that it is an attempt to understand, educate ourselves about the changes happening in the field of education. There are a lot of quantum jumps in the field of education. So we have to try ourselves to get educated on that, and we have to strive together, management, teachers, parents, and now actually the education sector demands a lot of creative effort, a creative combined effort, not only from the teachers, the society as a whole, the parents and students. So the very traditional concept of teacher-student relationship and everything has already undergone a changes, and it is fast undergoing changes. So no longer, I don't know whether the traditional teacher will exist after some time. May not. So that is the changes happening. So we do have our own reservations. I myself have my own reservation about the changes happening in the education field. But at the same time, we should understand the reality and we should face it. So this is a race. So we cannot be far behind. So we have to go along with the changes and understand it and bring about qualitative changes in the education field. So unfortunately, I doubt whether our teaching community is getting themselves educated, going along with this, because we all have our own limitations. Because it is a system. We all actually there is always an inertia. There is a tendency to go against the existing system. So it is very difficult to bring about changes, but we have to face it. So first of all, we have to understand the system. We have to understand the changes. We have to understand the changes what is happening in the field of education. So I hope this seminar will be an attempt, and it will at least enable us to go through the changes. And we are lucky to have eminent personalities like Mr. Ananda Subramanian, who will be able to tell us and who will be able to guide us, who will be able to give a lot of information about what is happening in the field. See, teachers are lucky because they are, even while working also, they are doing something which is near to their heart.
Gopal to kindly come up and furnish the profile of our guest speaker, Mr. S. N. Ananta Subramanian.
I am here to introduce S. N. Ananta Subramanian, who happens to be a practicing company secretary. At the same time, is associated in consultancy work with various public sector banks, and one of the important role played in the introduction of the diligence report of RBI in the year 2008. He is also an elected member of the Institute of Company Secretary, and on the other end, he happens to be a very good orator, a regular speaker in various seminars, workshops, conferences, and moreover, he has been the chairman of the Center of Corporate Governance Research Training Center.
Good afternoon. I feel privileged to be part of this initiative on the part of the management of Model College to have thought of having a one-day seminar on probably what every person in this country, whether he is an educationalist, whether he is a corporate professional, whether he is an industrialist, whether he is a politician, he is unable to exactly understand. And that is ushering in creative changes at workplace through proactive management practices. The theme itself speaks a lot in terms of the fact that there has been somewhere down the line, as Professor Rajagopal said, that all of you collectively, individually, together, alone, in private conversations, public speaking, you felt probably that there was a need to bring about some changes. And as what Mr. Vishwanathan rightly said, that the time has come when we have to realize that more than educating others, we have to start educating ourselves. And this, believe me, is not only confined to this 400 people here, but it's happening in the minds of almost everyone, every right-thinking professional. So first thing I would like to put all of you at ease. You feel at ease that this is something which everyone has to go through. And the sooner we all go through, the better it is. And you must compliment the management as much as I do for having realized the need that yes, you need to have a seminar where you will sort of reflect, introspect, and start thinking afresh as to what needs to be done and where we are. I would like to start by quoting a phrase from my favorite author, Arthur Koestler, who said that the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who do not know to read or write. The illiterate of the 21st century are not those who do not know to read or write, but those who refuse to learn, relearn and unlearn. Those who refuse to learn, unlearn and relearn. So there are three aspects which I think in a way covers the theme of this seminar. One is learn, second is unlearn, and third is relearn. So learn is something new. Unlearn is we carry a lot of baggages which we have to share. And relearn is what we already have learned, we have to relook as to whether those things are today relevant. And believe me, this is something which is not happening only in classrooms, this is happening across the country. So, first and foremost job of every person is that he or she realizes that there is a need to learn, unlearn and relearn every moment of his or her life as a professional. The moment we realize that we are at the top at the pinnacle of our learning career, then I think we become superannuated minds. We behave like retired people. In fact, even retired people today are being sought after because there is life after 60. Those are the people who have enormous wisdom. They also have, apart from knowledge, they have wisdom. So the first and foremost point which I would like to make is that we all make a commitment. And commitment not because the management tells us to do, because the commitment is something which is the need of the hour. The need of the hour is to learn new things and learn from wherever you can. And learning is not only from the classroom, as we see over a period of time. Relearn, the reason is that we will have to refashion, we will have to rethink as to what we have already learned, and unlearn, most importantly, many things which we find are not relevant and useful. As it is now said that the past, always, there is a fascination to be with the past. We always, in those days, things happened like this. In the olden days, things happened 62 years back, this institution was built. So to my mind, the past is always perfect. The past is always perfect because the past can never be, we can never go back to the past. So the past is always something which is perfect, which is ideal, which is almost iconic. The future is always tense. The present is always tense. The present is very tense because the thing is that I have to leave at 9:30 to be here at 11. So it's always tense. We carry a lot of tense moments. You have to go to the seminar, the management has to ensure that the speakers come. It's always tense. The future, unknown. The future is unknown. Tomorrow morning, what is going to happen is not known. Whether it is President Barack Obama, or whether it is Dr. Manmohan Singh, or whether it is Mr. Bill Gates. Nobody knows what is the future. The future is unknown, and that is also called the fear of the unknown. What actually inhibits all of us from being in that past is that the past is always we feel is perfect. The reason is that the future is unknown and there is a fear of the unknown. And let me also tell you that there are two unknowns, two types of unknown. One is the known unknown. That means we know that these are unknown not only to me but to all of you. And the rest is, the second is the unknown unknown. Which means nobody knows what is going to be that unknown. So there are two types of unknowns. One is the known unknown and the second is the unknown unknown. So that is the reason why the future is always unknown. So that is the reason, one of the reasons why there is a fear of the unknown. So with the result, what we believe is the past is perfect. So we tend to be with the past. The past is something like, it is like an armchair. So because the reason is that we can always rest in the armchair. The present is tense, but we don't want to really to go into the future because we know that future is something which nobody ever understands. But we believe that that's the reason why it is always better to stay in the past. So with the result, we go by what the past practices are. The past practices are, and some of the organizations even go to what is there in the last letter written. How did we write? The same thing will be copied. So with the result that there is no attempt to do something new, but the reason is that the future is unknown. Now one single factor, it is like before Christ and after Christ. One single factor which has completely demolished all those concepts and theories which we carried is the advent of internet. Internet, to my mind, has completely flattened this world. I am sure all of you will agree that it is today a flat world, and then where the distance is made. And very soon it is going to completely revolutionize the way we are going to think. Not only about education, about our lives in general. This advent of internet has brought in what I would call as instant knowledge. Instant knowledge. You have a Facebook or you go to the YouTube and you know exactly what's happening somewhere else in the country. And that's all going to happen, come to you through that iPad. Which is the tablet which is already there in the markets, and it is all the prices are crashing, and it's only a matter of time before everybody will carry the tablet PC, and people are going to watch things which are happening across the world, whichever part of the world, live, almost live. So to the extent, it is not something where you have to read tomorrow's newspaper to find out what is happening today. You are going to have instant information and instant knowledge. That is going to completely change the way we are all going to apply to our lives. And in the process, the age to which we belong, say between that 30 and that 60, I'm sure most of us are in that age group. We are going to be the most disadvantaged. The Indian population, as we all know, the demographics of the Indian population is that 50% of the population is at the age group of 30. So the whole world is going to be looking at this population below the 30. And it is a huge burgeoning population. And where the global economy shrunk, where Europe, Eastern Union, Europe, and all those economies are crumbling, when there are no jobs available in Italy and France and UK, where will they go? They have to come to Asia. And there are only two economies which are growing, one is China and one is India. So don't be surprised if 5 years from now, somewhere in Highway Road or somewhere in Dwarka Hotel, you will find some foreigners sitting and having a cup of upma. Because the reason is that they have no way they can go anywhere. The US is shrinking. US is struggling now. Every quarter the employment rate is, they are all looking eagerly at the level of employment and also at the level of growth of economy. And what is the level of growth? 1.2% to 2.5%. And what is India's growth, which is envisaged for the next year, is 8.5 to 9%. So that's the level of growth and that's the level of focus which is on the Indian economy, but not to our population. Please remember, the population which everybody is looking at is less than 30. And that is going to be the challenge for all of us. All of us are going to be challenged by whom? By the youth. By people who are younger than us. The real challenge is going to come not from people who are elder to us, because that is past perfect. The challenge is going to come from the future unknown, that is the youth. And they are being targeted by Microsoft, by Google, by Dell, by BlackBerry. They are the people who are targeted because they are the people who know instantly what is happening in Antarctica, to what is happening in Egypt, and to what is happening in a football stadium. And they know exactly, and they are the people whom the world is targeting. So in this context, how do we cope up? Coping up is going to be a challenge. I am here, I am not trying to scare all of you. I am scaring myself. Because I also belong to the same community. And I am now in the Central Council of Institute of Company Secretary of India. And every moment I also think as to how do we, and we have 25,000 members and more than 2 lakh students across the country. How do this student population of 2 lakhs, how do we keep them engaged so that we ultimately result in that we give them what we are expected to give? That's the challenge which we all carry. So I can't disagree more with what Mr. Vishwan said, that the first and foremost thing which we all ought to realize is we have to educate ourselves, we have to relearn ourselves. Because the scenario I am depicting is that this 30 and below are going to be our challenge. It's not going to, and there is